Welcome to another episode of Pals in the Blender. It's your boy A Davis. Man, it's been a while. Took a little all-star break. You know what I mean? Team took a break. I took a break too. You dig? And getting back to it, give you a little quick episode on another Pelicans game day on this Saturday. I think they play around 5. They play Philly. They play Philly at home. I don't know if I'm gonna be in attendance, but if not, man, I got a ticket for anybody if they won't go. Just hit me in the DM or something like that, or let me know and I'll get with you and get you that ticket for the game today. Um, but man, real quick, bro, just kind of wanna go over the game a little bit and like kind of like my thoughts. Second half of the season, you know what I mean, and like right after the All-Star break, you kind of come back and refresh. And then the first thing you find out after this is that Trey Murphy's still not available. Now the thing is, around the league is a bunch of players that's not really available right now. Like Giannis not back, Steph Curry sitting out. You see players sitting out and stuff like that after the break. So, and our team don't really have nothing we competing for, to be honest. You just want to win as many games, so the pick not that bad, but you're not gonna get in the play in. Like you're not good enough to get in the play in. So if like something is hurting on Trey Murphy, you know what I mean? If he's not 100%, it's not worth risking a real injury, him playing through it with the season going the way that it is. So I kind of understand it from that standpoint. So Trey wasn't available. You got DeJounte getting ready to come back in a couple games. And with Trey sitting out, you had opportunity for some guys who hadn't played in an extremely long time. Jordan Poole got an opportunity to played 30 minutes, didn't necessarily look well, but I'll just be honest, man. It's like if you ain't played in a month, and then you just had this break, it's kind of like, how can you, I ain't gonna say how can you expect them to necessarily play well, because you obviously want to play well, but if you hadn't played a live game in over a month, it's gonna be tough to be in a rhythm. I mean, he wasn't necessarily playing the greatest before he went out, but the shooting was starting to turn around somewhat. So I'll be honest, just like real quick about JP, like I just imagine it's just an unfortunate situation. Like I imagine that like once Trey is back or once DeJounte is back, you'll go back to not seeing Jordan Poole at all, which again, man, I think is unfortunate. And I don't think it helps anybody, him not being able to get minutes. I don't think it helps them when they get ready to trade him. And I mean, coming into the season, he was like one of your more talented players, somebody you was dependent on. So to just take that position and just shut it down, or take that talent and just shut it down, just it's just really unfortunate. But I mean, when like him getting minutes, 30 minutes, 1 for 6 is kind of like, you only hit 4 threes anyway. You know what I mean? He was 25% of the threes that you did hit. So it's kind of like the team is bad. Like at the end of the day, the team is bad. It's not just him being bad. Like that's part of it. Don't get me wrong. But the circumstances for him to like thrive, I just don't think it's like ideal right now. Because again, I don't think he's gonna play the rest of the way anyway. Like, I don't think he's gonna play the rest of the way. Like, you saw Hawkins get 4 minutes, and like, what's the point of Hawkins playing? You know what I mean? Like, not like you gave him opportunity, but was it really opportunity? He took what, one shot? Took one shot, missed it. Is it one? Yeah, 0 for 1. One shot, missed it, played 5 minutes, was gone. So it's just kind of like, you already know what you have. So like you didn't really need to do that. So when Trey comes back, you likely won't see those players. When DeJounte and Trey comes back, you definitely won't see those players. So that's just to kind of address that and get that out the way. So ideally and most likely what you're looking at for next season, both of those players won't be here. But I think the JP one is going to be a little bit tougher because him not playing. The actual game itself, man, it's a tough watch sometimes, because you can see certain things that like you should be able to do, or you like. I thought Zion played really well yesterday. I thought Z played really well yesterday. Was in a really good groove coming back from the All-Star break. He looked like the numbers show what he had 32 in 30 minutes on 13 for 17 shooting. Didn't really rebound too well, but shit, not where you're gonna get your rebounds from, but like it seemed like they weren't really missing. You know what I mean? Like the Bucks shot great yesterday. So what they shoot? They shot 60% from the field and 40% from three. So like they were shooting relatively well. And then, we didn't shoot that great, but like most opportunities that he had, like I don't know, bro. I just thought Z looked good yesterday. He looked healthy, looked spry. You know what I mean? And he played well. There are some things that you want him to do. Like obviously he had maybe one play where he shot a little runner, a little floater in the mid range. You want to see more of that. Obviously, you want to see him maybe look to take over these games a little bit more. But again, there's only so much you could do when the team is just so bad defensively and so bad shooting. Like they're such a bad shooting team. Whoa, what's up, Kurt? DNP, JP, Queen was horrible on defense. Z and Q couldn't dribble yesterday. Maybe that's true to a degree. I think Queen been bad on defense. And again, man, shout out to Ivory. Ivory, been saying for the longest, like, what is the expectations for Queen? And like Queen is going to produce to a degree. Like he's gonna have really good numbers, just because of the skill set and stuff like that. But it's like when you watching the game, sometimes it's just, when he has really good games, he has really good games. But the defense is awful, right? The defense is awful. So my thing is if the defense is awful, I think you have to be more creative to kind of like help these dudes, as opposed to just kind of doing the same thing that you've been doing and watching them get beat over and over and over and over. Like the only thing that you really see them switch to is like sometimes when things are going wrong, like they'll switch to the zone. And then once the team figure out the zone, they eventually go back to the man. But like you don't really see often like the team try to trap people, the team play different versions of the zone. So I just think those are like some of the things that, like, as I'm watching the game, I'm just like, you could tell the teams were back and forth. Neither team was able to get stops. And then at some point you saw like the scoring for the Bucks become like much easier than it had already been. And they were starting to pick apart. Like they were just, like pick and rolling with Queen, or they was isolating Queen and stuff like that. So like they knew exactly what they wanted to attack and how they were going to attack, and they did it throughout the entire game. Then that's really one of the main differences. Like they were intentional about what it was they were doing. Our team, when you watch us, we're not like that. Like even if we have a good offensive game, I don't feel like we're intentional about what it is we're trying to do or what it is we're trying to accomplish. Just like, yeah, sometimes you want to try and create threes, but you don't have shooters, or you don't have people that's gonna knock down those threes. Or how are we trying to create those threes? Like I think the offense just has way too many questions. And then it's kind of like, all right, you want to play with pace, but I don't think the defense that you're playing allows for you to help play with pace as well, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like, as you're playing and you see a team start to like really get rolling, right? You're not doing anything to try and like disrupt what's going on. Like, so for example, in a football, like to use football as an example, when you see a offense start picking apart a defense, typically what you'll see is a defensive coordinator just be like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna blitz them this time, or like we got to do something to disrupt what they have going on. And you could use like the same analogies for basketball. Queen getting picked on, Missy was missing and they need another defensive big. All of that's absolutely true. But for example, when Queen getting picked on, I ain't never seen nobody go try and like double when Queen had the ball. Like I ain't seen nobody come like over help and stuff like that. Or I just don't see them try many different things. It was just they were doing the same thing over and over and over and over. So you did the same thing. So then The Bucks did the same thing, and the result was kind of the same. Queen is not a good defender. Like, Queen is still a rookie. Don't get me wrong. It's not to say that he'll ever be a good defender, but you already know that Queen has a lot of things that he has to work on, especially when, again, you're not playing him with another big that can help protect the rim. Again, man, we've been talking about the two big lineups for the longest this season, and like, I don't know how you feel about Queen and Carlo together or whatever. Like, yeah, you need Missy and you do need another big, but I just, man, look, I just feel like yesterday was a opportunity where the things that I don't think they tried enough different things to be able to minimize some of the damage that was happening during the game or kind of change the momentum. You saw the Bucks kind of switch up what they were doing and then like start finding success, and it was like, all right, well, we're gonna stay in it because you haven't adjusted or haven't done anything different to get us out of the zone. Like, if that's the case, then why wouldn't they? So they adjusted. You have to adjust. You never adjusted, in my opinion, to what it was that the Bucks started doing. Again, then you start seeing like Cam Thomas get rolling, right? Cam Thomas get rolling. Hold on. Appreciate y'all. How you doing, man? Jordan Poole had a chance to show Coach JB that he should be back in the lineup. 1 for 6. He did play afraid, but that's what happens when somebody don't have confidence in you and you on the court, right? Like, they hadn't played him. He hadn't played since January 23rd, bro. It's kind of like if he didn't come out and go for 30 or something like that, it was more likely that he would have a game like yesterday than a good game, in my opinion. And that's not to say that if he played again, and got more opportunity or got another opportunity, that it would continue to be that way. I mean, it's possible, but when somebody's already quit on you, then it's kind of like, look, bro, I'm just trying to do the best I can. And even still, even with him not playing great, right? He still made 25% of the threes you made all night. So that's just, it didn't go well for anybody. What's good, bro? What's good, Mike, man? Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody for tapping in on the Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, technically. Listen to Gil Pies. That was like 30 minutes. He really broke down how players like Herb are a liability on the court. Bro, ain't nobody guarding him. Nobody guarding him. I know exactly what you're talking about. He was saying if you're lockdown defender, right? If you're a lockdown defender that's supposed to stop, if the player average is 30 and your lockdown defender holds them to 24, but then he still doesn't give you nothing on the offensive side, like, you playing 4-on-5 most of the game and you still not taking a player out the game. And like, and this is the thing, bro. Like, I know when me and Chaz do the show, bro, we talk about, like, it feel like we really piling on Herb, but like, Herb played 32 minutes, bro. It was 3 for 10, 0 for 6 from 3. And like, you still wasn't stopping nobody defensively. Like, the team defense was bad. And then the three offensive wing players that you would say, okay, Herb, go take them away. He couldn't take none of them away. Cam Thomas, when Cam Thomas was in the game, it was automatic, right? Automatic. This dude outscoring his minutes, right? So you can't say, okay, Herb, and when Cam get in the game, it's just all offense. They could at least say, all right, look, Herb, go, just do whatever you can to stop him. That's not a thing. All right, well, if you can't stop him, go stop Ryan Rollins. Can't do that. And if you can't do that, go stop Kevin Porter Jr. So like, if you're not going to be effective offensively, and we're not going to be able to have you be able to take away, I mean, Kevin Porter Jr. is a good player, but like, dog, Kevin Porter Jr. is not an all-star level player. Like Ryan Rollins, respectfully, like, those dudes are not like all NBA level players, really good players. They can score the ball, don't get me wrong, but like, you should be able to hinder those guys, right? Cam, like, shout out the dog. Cam got the green light. Like, Cam got the green light, yes, but her last known, like, is supposed to be like a top NBA defender. You got to be able to limit Cam. Like, somewhat, like, you got to be, that's one of the things that when Cam come in the game, what it is you want to do. Bro, when you watch, for example, when you watch other teams and how they defend us, like, they'll specifically match players up with Z, right? Like when we play the Spurs, for example, you'll see Wemby's minutes tied directly to Zion. Anytime Zion on the game, Wemby in the game. Zion sit, Wemby take his break. Why? Because not that you stopping Z or whatever, but we gonna put our best deterrent on him. It's like, bro, you know what's happening when Cam come in the game. Why isn't it that you can't just be like, all right, look, we know what he want to do. We're going to take that away. We don't take away anything. We don't take away. Yes, a lot of times Herb don't have it though, and that's pretty much the point. Like, and offensively, he hasn't really had it much all season. So it's kind of like what do you do if you watch the games, bro? Teams really don't guard him. They don't guard him, and that just makes it harder for everybody else. So, like, to be honest, for them to be as good sometimes offensively with Herb on the floor, it's like it's kind of impressive because you playing 4-on-5 on that side. So I mean, I don't know what you do with Herb. Like, he's got to get better. He's got to get better offensively. It seems like they're not going to be willing to move him, or they're not trying to move him. You listen to JB talking. You listen, excuse me. You listen to them talk about like, hey, he's one of the core pieces of this team. It's like, okay, but like if he gonna start and play 30-something minutes, bro, you gotta produce more. Like, again, we talking about Z, and yeah, Z should have got 40. He had 18 he had 21 at the half. He had 21 and ended up with 32, right? So like, yeah, he should have got 40. And again, like, Z played really, really well, right? All defenses are designed for stopping Zion. Like, that's just what it is. And if he's not going to be willing to take bad shots or different shots, or like essentially go down swinging, like me shooting is just, even if it's a bad shot, it's better than you shooting a good shot. If he's not willing to do that, then I don't think you see him have like the 40-point nights and stuff like that. But which is why, in my opinion, that's why I said before, I think Z playing, like, he's playing to play, don't get me wrong, but I think he's playing like to finish the season. Like, I think he's playing not to get hurt, as opposed to I'm laying it all out for wins and for the team and stuff. And that's not necessarily the greatest thing. And it's not like I'm trying to make an excuse for him, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, bro, the season is over. The season is over. He's dealt with injuries a lot. This is his longest stretch of games that he's played in a row and consecutively and stuff like that. I think he's more so trying to build on that, as opposed to like, not saying he's not trying to win games. I'm not saying that, but like, I just don't think he's playing at 100% of the time, because he typically gets hurt when he's doing everything he can to win every single game. So like, that's just my point. Well, what's good? DJ, he has to be better on always been atrocious. I agree, but that's more team defense than just her. That goes both ways. Good morning. Yeah, appreciate you, dog. Like, and that's I'm assuming you talking about Herb. Like, Herb, the offense has been god awful, and it's got to be better for Herb. Realistically, for Herb to be playable, it can't be as bad as it is. The team defense is terrible too, and that's more than just Herb. My only part about Herb specifically is that, like, I would like the one thing I want to see from Herb, is when you got a Cam Thomas out there, I need you to be able to turn Cam Thomas water off a little bit, or like, even if, like, one of the things AD say all the time is like, man, you just got to guard your yard, right? The team defense could be bad, and if they killing us, like if they killing you away from the ball with Queen and the pick and roll and all, and like they scoring on Fierce and stuff, that's cool. I just don't want somebody consistently like getting buckets on Herb Jones. Like, you at some point, you still got to be the defensive stopper, or like for players like, Kevin Porter Jr., who's a good offensive player, I need to see you be able to take away like a Kevin Porter Jr. Like, all right, we got to try something else. Like, they had to go to something else. It was no point in the game where like the Bucks had to do anything else. And that's the problem I have. So if that's gonna be the case, and you awful offensively, like then I think we have to have a conversation. You do like how Z playing though. I think Z in a really good groove and a really good rhythm. He just, a lot of people want to see more from his game, right? And I understand that. Like I would like to see, like they showed a video of him shooting the three, but then he don't ever shoot the three in the game and stuff like that. I completely agree. Like I want to see him do those things as well. Like if you work on it, bro, just come out and work on it. That's kind of what that's kind of like one of my thought processes or whatever, because I feel like this season is more like we trying to figure everything out kind of season. So if I'm Z, though, I ain't gonna lie, like there might be certain games where I come out and I'm just like, I'm working on my mid-range game today, or I might like I'm trying to get 2 or 3 threes up a game to, like I'm just doing it. Like you already losing, like what do you have to lose? So I'm not saying that you should completely go away from what it is that he does that makes him successful, because he is in a really good groove. But this is the season to get like the confidence in game to be able to do something. That's it. Exactly. This is the time to work on it. Like you're not going nowhere. Like, bro, you could come out and shoot and do whatever it is that you want to do, because it don't matter. It's not going to cost you the games. Like I understood, like in previous seasons, they'd be like, man, why won't Z shoot? We want him to shoot. And it's like, well, if you competing for something, right, then you don't want to do something you're not comfortable with, because you don't want to cost yourself a game where in our games, like for the Pelicans, like the margin for error is so small all the time anyway. But like you don't want to be like, man, Z shot 3 threes, which was the reason we lost those games, right? Right now, that shit don't matter. So like you could work on your post game, you could work on your 3-ball, you could work on whatever it is you want to work on, because it don't matter. Like it really don't matter. So that's kind of where I'm at with Z. Personally, I just think he trying to make sure he get his games played, which is why you don't see some of the defensive plays. I think that's why you don't see him skying in for rebounds and stuff like that. Like, bro, like sometimes you'll watch the game and you'll see him just allow somebody, like even his teammates, allow Queen to get a board, allow Bade to get a board. Like they'll get the board and hand it to him, as opposed to you see some players, like every board opportunity, they're going to get it no matter what, right? So I just think that's part of the effort that's happening right now. So I don't know how true this is, but that's just me watching Z play this year as opposed to previous years. Like he's finally playing back-to-backs. He's up at the 30-minute a game mark, a little bit over that and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, I think he's really just playing to stay on the court, not get hurt, hit them games played, and get his money. Because I wouldn't be surprised if like Joe Dumars was like, hey, bro, if you don't hit these incentives, like we not paying you. So Z doing everything in his power to make sure he does what he got to do to be able to get paid. And if on a 15-win team, if I ain't diving for loose balls, I ain't trying to block everything, so I don't have no issues, so I can stay on the court and get my money, then I kind of get it. I wonder if he got like clauses for like shot percentages and stuff like that. Like that would be something interesting to look up too, because if that is the case, right? Let's say you got percentages for like incentives for shooting over 50%, or like what you shoot from the free throw line or what you shoot from the field, stuff like that, then it would be interesting to see if like, man, I'm not taking these shots because it would affect the field goal percentage and stuff like that. I just wonder if that's something in like the contracts too. We want Z jump shots and more right hand finishes around the rim. I mean, I just want more talent on the team, to be honest. Personally, I just want more talent on the team. So that's just kind of my thing. let's see what else do we have. And let's wrap up the game. Let's wrap up the game, and because they got a couple other things that we wanted to talk about, like my point and when I felt like we lost the game was in the third quarter around like that 5 minute mark. We were down nine. Z go on a quick, like they score a quick 7 points, like right with like the 5 minute mark or something like that, bro. Z scored, he scored, passed to Carlo. Carlo hit the three, came back, scored again. They cut it to 2. I think Doc them called the timeout. They took Z out the game. And pretty much that was it. Like Z was finally was really getting into the rhythm. The defense didn't have no answers. Personally, I think you have to allow him to like finish the run, right? Finish the run, especially when Borrego's coaching has been, if you hot, like we gonna leave y'all in, right? Like why wouldn't that be the case with him as well? Especially when you battling to get back into the game. So like, from that point, they took him out, and then like it was close for a second, but they end the Bucks end with an 8-point lead or something like that, and then they pretty much never looked back. You never were able to get it closer than I think like 6 or something. Like the rhythm was gone, because the thing about basketball, and most people that play know, if you in a rhythm and not sit you down, it's not necessarily guaranteed. Like it might take a minute or two for you to find that rhythm. And then they could be doing something completely different when you come back in the game, which they were doing something completely different than what they was doing and when you sat down. So you hadn't had time to adjust. It's different. Like, you know what I mean? The people that's on the court, it's like basketball is a real feel for the game kind of thing. And I just didn't think Borrego did a really good job last night at all. Like, I thought he was completely out coached. From the offensive side, I felt like we struggled when they decided to go to the defense. Like when they made adjustment to go to the zone, you didn't have an adjustment. You did no adjustment when they constantly were attacking Queen. You had no way to stop Cam or none of their scores or something like that. I just think we were like thoroughly outclassed. And I don't know what you feel about Doc, man, but like, you know, like the Bucks aren't a great team. Like the Bucks are not a great team, but they, like, both times we've played them, you know what I mean? And again, in the last time you played them, it was close, but you had Trey, and Trey was going crazy. But they didn't have Miles Turner. They didn't have Giannis. They had play, they didn't play, and they got whatever they wanted consistently. So, like, I think you had an opportunity in the game to like, I don't say you win, but like to kind of like take control of the game in that moment where Z is rolling. They don't have no answers. But then when you sit him down for the rest of the quarter, right? It was 5 minutes to go. You sit him down for the rest of the quarter, and now like you come into the fourth, you kind of got like 5 minutes is a long time to sit. Come back into the fourth, it's not quite the same, and then you end up losing by 20. So that's just kind of like my assessment of like where we lost the game and stuff like that. Can the Pels win tonight though? They play the Sixers, bruh. I don't know. Is Embiid playing tonight? Again, I said this about the Pelicans. Like, I can't count on them to win any game. Like, I can't just say we gonna win any game, even if it's against bad teams, because you don't know which Pelicans team is gonna show up. I don't know who's gonna be starting from game to game. One of the things I was wondering is like, okay, Jeremiah Fitz started majority of the season. I had been saying I thought he should go to the bench, but like he finally goes to the bench and he's doing okay. But if like Trey Murphy is out, why wouldn't Fitz start again? Like, I understand, I guess you want to go with Bryce with the size and something like that, but like if Fitz was your starter and you were comfortable with starting, like you said you was comfortable starting him all of that time, and he gave you the best opportunity to win, why wouldn't you start him when you have an opportunity to start him again? That's just my opinion. And I thought Fizz played well for the most part yesterday. Like, I thought Fizz looked good coming back from the All-Star break. You could tell like he getting a better feel for the game and understanding. He had some moments last night, but he a rookie. I'm not overly worried. But like Embiid and PG out. PG done for the season, I think. Embiid out, like, it don't matter, dog. They got Maxey. And VJ, and I just think I believe they're gonna outcoach us too. I think Nick Nurse is a better coach than and they have something that they plan for. Like those dudes need wins. They plan for playoff position and stuff like that. So no, I don't believe we're gonna win. We might. The last game was a close game. I don't know if Trey Murphy playing tonight. Probably not. And if Trey don't play, again, you got the same question that you have. Where you gonna get your shooting from? Like, where you gonna get your scoring from? Like Sadiq is gonna play solid, possibly. I think I know what I'm gonna get from Z, especially if Embiid not there. I think Z gonna have a really good game, but other than that, I don't know if it's gonna be enough. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, and you still got the defensive problems. And Maxi's just a fucking just he's playing insane right now. So like, no, I don't think we gonna get a win. But that's just kind of like where we are right now. With the team, that's not enough talent. There's not enough talent right now to just say, okay, yeah, we're gonna get a win, even when teams are playing without their talent, which is why I was so adamant that like you needed to do everything you could to improve the talent on this team, right? Like when Cam Thomas was still with the Nets before he got released, my thought was like, man, you got to try and trade for Cam. Like you got to try and get Cam on this team, because I understand like some people say like when you competing for something or like championship level play, Cam Thomas style may not fit with what it is they doing. Well, that's not the case for us, and we struggle with scoring the ball. You need somebody like a Cam Thomas that's just one thing, you know, that dude could get buckets, right? I actually wonder sometimes too if we had Cam, let's say we did acquire Cam, would we allow Cam Thomas to play a style or play a way that would look like him? Or will we try to fit him in some kind of offensive box and be like, all right, you need to do this or you need to do that, and not let him just be him? Like if you notice, Doc just like, bro, ultimate green, like go get you, go do your thing. And like it's helping them win games. It's like same thing with Ousmane Jing. Like they got Jing looking like a player over there too. He's playing well. Like you see Porter Jr. over there looking well. So like when Cam Thomas was available for trade during the season, like I might not have wanted to give up no real asset for him, but like dog, like Hawkins made more money than Cam Thomas. If you sitting Hawkins on this roster, and respect to Bryce, but if you got Bryce on the roster, you can make space for a player like Cam Thomas, even if it's just for the season or something, like even if it's just to figure it out. Absolutely. Coaches ain't figured out how to maximize skill sets. That's unfortunate. And that's with, in my opinion, that's with every player. Like, that's with every player. Like, I don't think we maximize anybody. And it's again, so like you see, that's the question I have about Cam coming. Like, which is why I think you need players that's just overly talented. Man, same shit that BI was saying a long time ago. Man, we won those games off talent. Like, people talk about what will say what they want, but like CJ, like dog, you miss CJ right now, because no matter what was going on, CJ was gonna figure out a way to go get buckets. Just knew how to play the game, knew how to score, knew how to do what you needed. Like if the coaching staff is gonna be what it is, then you need players like that. Which is why I was like, we need like the Ben Mathurin for Missy deal. I completely probably not. Hell no, like probably not. But I mean, I would have had to try and figure it out. I doubt, like knowing our organization, I doubt you even made the call. Like I doubt we even made the call on Cam. Like even when Cam got cut, I wonder if you made the call to Cam and was like, hey, look, come here, we're gonna give you ultimate opportunity to just go play. Right? Probably not. But again, man, I just don't know. That's part of knowing like what the vision is. Like we don't know what the vision is for this particular team, but this team needs talented players, and they also need players that could play outside of a system. I'm sorry, like that's just what you need. Players that could kind of create, do it on their own, and if you need them to fit into a system, they could do it. But we struggle offensively. Like you saw when they went to the zone, it was not like that we had just some sets drawn up where you could just boom, boom, easy bucket, or boom, boom, get to an easy shot. Like aside from just not having the shooters and you missing, there was no way to just create an easy look. And that's the part that's like really unfortunate as well. So like that's why I'm like, man, look, you need a player like Ben Mathurin for Eves. And I like Eves, don't get me wrong. But Eves, while he's a good defensive center and stuff like that, and he has like his moments where he impacts the game, like we have a depth, like we're already god awful defensively, but we're also awful offensively, in my opinion. I think a player like Ben Mathurin that could get you 26, 30 and score, like just can score the ball. Like you seen it with, and again, maybe it's coaching and stuff like that, but you saw it at times in Indiana. You see it right now with the Clippers right now. That dude can score the rock, right? You need players that's just going to be able to get to it and make it easier for the other players. Like, it's hard for Z to score because there's nobody else that really can score. It's hard for Trey to score because there's nobody else that really can score. Or so I don't know, bro. So like it just really frustrated me watching players like McCain, who seemed like he was available, right? And I don't know if we made the calls on these players or we were willing to give up whatever it was that it may have took to acquire some of these players. But like, I just felt like you needed to do whatever you could to acquire the talent. And I still don't know moving forward what's the identity that they want to build. So that's why the summer is going to be really important. Really important because you just got to do, I think you got to do like drastic roster changes and stuff. Because again, if Herb is going to be this bad offensively, like I don't think you could play Herb 30 minutes a game if he's going to be this bad offensively and the defense is not good. Or like you have to morph into a real defensive team. But if that's the case, like what do you do with Queen? What do you do with Fizz? Because those dudes not going to be good defenders for a while. It's just, or are you leaning all offense? If you lean in all offense, then you need to play all offensive players and you need to play a style. Even your defense got to fit that, right? So I just got so many questions, man. So many questions about what it is that we're doing and where we going. And I guess the rest of the season we'll see. Pels need someone like Will Wade to pick up. Will Wade knew how to get people. Will Wade had LSU popping before they decided to shut it down. And it's crazy that like Will Wade got hit for paying players, but now you got NIL and then it's all good. So like I think if Will Wade was still at LSU, I think the LSU basketball team would have won. I think, or at least they'd have made like a Final Four or something like that. You saw a couple years they had a run in the tournament. So I like Will Wade as a coach, but you need somebody, and that's not even up to the coaching like to get talent, but that like bro, you need somebody in the front office and like yeah, you trust the draft and all of that, like you trust what's his name, Troy Weaver with the draft and stuff like that, but there's no I don't know what the vision is of how they're going about building this. Like, I do like that they didn't, again, man, and I said this before, I do like that they didn't just give away stuff to make just a move that don't help. But like, if Ja was available, and I don't know what might have ruined the move to get Ja. But if you got an opportunity to get a Ja Morant, I think you pull the trigger. If Cam Thomas was available for something like when he was a free agent, it would have cost you nothing. Did you call? Right? If it would have been Ease for Ben Mathurin, I think you take Ben Mathurin over Ease. That's just me. So like, but again, I like offensive players. I like players that's gonna be able to that's dynamic, that could kind of do things on their own. I think Ease is just so dependent. I don't think Eves, respectfully to Eves, I don't think Eves is ever going to be like a 30-point, I don't think Eves going to be like a 2010 kind of guy, right? Like I don't see Eves being a 2010 kind of guy. So even if I got a player that's capable of giving me 30, right? Give me personally the wing player that's capable of giving me 30, especially when most of your team is based around wing players anyway. Just lean into what it is. Like if you look at the way the Bucks played last night, it's not like they had a bunch of bigs out there, nothing like that. It was a team full of wing dudes getting to it, getting buckets, right? And that's kind of how the Pelicans play anyway. Like they normally have Queen out there by himself, or you got Eves out there by himself. And Eves is not like the biggest guy or something like that. You mainly play wings anyway. Just go ahead and just load the team up with wing players and scores and go play the style that you want to play. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see. They play tonight, man. They play this afternoon against the Sixers. Again, I just can't ever pick them to win a game. I can't pick them to win a game. Like some games they win, I'm not surprised if they win, but I'm not just at this point in the season and at this point with how they look, they are a bad team. Like that's just what it is. They are a bad team. They got some talented players, but like the margin for error was already small. And then I don't know why you pull Zion out when Zion just accounted for 7 points in a row and cut the lead to 2, and you got some momentum. I don't know why you sit him down, right? As opposed to being like, shit, we got an opportunity to put our foot on their neck, cut this, like maybe take it like how some teams do you, right? When teams walk the Pelicans down, they don't sub out the best player in the midst of walking them down. They take the lead, then they let it grow. And then all of a sudden you be like, man, hold on. Look, when the Pelicans finally turn it around, then you might see an adjustment. That's not what we do. And then the part about that's crazy is, again, you see Borrego in certain instances, depending on who on the floor, he'll leave him on the floor. Again, the game they almost lost to Minnesota, I'm sitting there like, dog, you playing, you have an opportunity to beat Minnesota. Zion was playing awesome. And then you sat him again the last like 3-4 minutes of the game, almost let that game get away. Why? Especially if he healthy, according to them, ain't no minutes restriction, ain't no nothing. Right? He playing the back-to-backs and all of that. So, and again, if you protecting them from a minutes perspective, right, it would lean to my thoughts and saying, I don't think he going as hard. So I don't know, but again, it's a back-to-back, so we'll see tonight how the game go. Philly got something that they plan for, and I think they're gonna come in here and try and get a win. We need the Missy minutes tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Even with all of these players back, I think it'll make a difference, but like, how big of a difference? How cut the cord too early was he last night? Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. You can't do that. This is a good question, Kurt. Is VJ better than Fizz and Queen? VJ got picked 3rd, I think. Yeah, BJ was 3. And you know what? Yeah, he is better. In my opinion, I think he's better. I didn't see VJ looking like this when he came out. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know I knew the athleticism was there and the motor and stuff was there, but he been shooting it way better than I thought he would. He attacked the rim and stuff like that. He been scoring it way better than I thought he would. I mean, he's bigger, he's more athletic, he's a better defender, probably than both of them. Like, yeah, I would take him right now. I would probably definitely swap him for Queen. And like a 1-on-1 with Fizz, and I really like Fizz. I don't know. VJ look like he's gonna be a problem though. VJ look like he's gonna be a problem. Yeah, it did. It absolutely threw the rotation off. Or maybe you stuck to the rotation too long. But like, bro, when you have the momentum or when something is working, just let it work. Why would you change what it is that you was doing when it was getting you back into the game? Again, you went from down 8 to down 2 with an opportunity to continue to build on that. And then you know what I mean? You just kind of shut it down and you couldn't recapture the momentum that you had. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long on this Saturday afternoon, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Hit the like button, share. 30 wins is too far to reach. They're not getting the 30 wins, bro. They got 20 something, 25 games left now. You would need to win at least 15 of them. I don't think they're gonna do it. It sucks to never have a Starlight app, bruh. So like, again, even with this point, right? Even with this point, great appreciate you, Trey, bringing up this point, because I said this earlier. If you started, and I don't mind Bryce starting, that's not the point, but like, if you started Fizz for all of those games before, and you was trying to say that fears was giving you the best opportunity to win. Why wouldn't you start him yesterday when you got an opportunity to start him? And that's not to say that Bryce ain't playing well, but Bryce can come off the bench. Why wouldn't you start Fizz, who had been starting for you the entire time? Had been starting for you the entire time. Like, it just, I don't know, bro. Like, what we doing it don't really, to me, it don't really make sense. It don't really make sense. And again, I like the 10 seed is at 27 wins in the West. No, there's no way this team get the 27 wins. Well, it's not that they don't get the 27 wins, but they're not getting the 27 wins above other teams. Like, so for Portland already, yeah, oh, you saying they at 27 wins. Yeah, Portland would have to lose out. Like, even the teams that possibly are tanking, even the teams that could possibly tank, they can't even tank enough for you to have a shot. Like, the 10 seed shit is dead. Like, you still 3 games behind Utah, and Utah trying to lose. You 4 games behind Dallas. Dallas then kind of pulled back a little bit. And Memphis got 21 wins. Like, the Pels might not get the 21 wins until, what are we? We about to go into March. We might not get the 21 wins. No. Like, mid-March, maybe. Mid-March, maybe. Like, I don't think they see Portland don't need to take this draft as deep. Yeah, I don't see Portland tanking. I don't see Portland tanking at all. I see that they're going to try and do whatever they need. And I think they too far ahead of the teams, like, under them. Like, Memphis not trying to win games. Like, no team underneath Portland is trying to win games other than us, right? And we not good enough to win enough to catch them. So, like, your playoff seeding is probably what it's going to look like right now. Like, I don't really see much movement as far as, like, somebody going up there and catching them or nothing like that. Like, Memphis is the 11th seed, and they 6 games. Like, they got 6 games on like, Portland got 6 games on them. So no, like, ain't gonna be no movement, ain't no play, and this is it. So with that being the case, like, what is it that you're trying to do? What is it that you're trying to do? Like, what are you trying to establish? Like, what are you trying to establish? Because I just don't see. And again, man, Borrego this is the part that's crazy. Borrego, if you go watch his pregame presser going into this game, said, man, listen, the last couple of days we just worked on our defense. We just worked on our defense, trying to make sure we emphasize the defense. And then you come out and the defense was that bad, right? So what are you teaching? Or what are you working on? Or how are you working on it? And what adjustments are you working on? Because you stayed in something that they were torturing you with, and you didn't have no counter. So, like, when you're creating the defense, you just thinking about it as if it's going to work. Like, you can't come up with, if they're killing us with this is what we're going to do. Like, you need to have plan A, plan B, plan C. They couldn't get that far. They couldn't get that far into it, and, ended up losing by 20. So hopefully Philly have a bad shooting night, but we'll see, man. More than likely you get another Pels loss and they go to 15-43 tonight. But man, I say that, but I hope they win. I would love to be wrong about them losing. But what's the odds of that? So again, man, that's going to do it for the day, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Pels in the Blender. It's your boy, A. Davis, out here on this Saturday. Again, if anybody want a ticket to the game, man, hit me up in the DM on X or whatever at Just A. Davis. Let me know. You hear me? I'll get that out, and tickets for the rest of this week. So just hit me up if anybody want tickets to the game or something like that. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Whoa, Kurt, yeah, make sure y'all go see bet. Say that, man. Look, hold on. I might have to make an adjustment, Jeremy. I have to come swing around that way. Appreciate you, Kurt, as always, though. Y'all be safe, man. Everybody stay locked in. I'm gonna get with Chaz, man. See when we come in with another fan line episode, so everybody can tap in, get their opinions and whatnot on the team. Hopefully, we can get a win by then. DeJounte possibly will be back, and then we'll have something new to discuss. Because as of right now, it ain't really much, So maybe we'll see more from Zion other than that, but I don't think there's really anything else that we're going to see like for the next stretch that's going to really make too much of a difference. But y'all be safe, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all week. And Jeremy, I'm out. Peace.